Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Some Sekhukhune residents in Limpopo have cautiously welcomed the arrest of suspects believed to be directors of a company that was found in possession of chrome worth 20 million rand. The arrests of Gary and Justin Mitchell have been hailed as a milestone in efforts to dismantle illegal mining rings in the mineral-rich Sekhukhune area. Locals have, however, reiterated calls for the issuing of small-scale mining licenses. South Africa is home to more than 70% of the world's chrome services or reserves. Chrome is essential for various applications, notably the production of stainless steel. And for more on this, we're now joined by SABC News reporter Pimani Baloyi, and she joins us now via video link. Pimani, thank you so much for your time. I mean, seeing that arrest of those two directors when it comes to illegal mining of chrome in the area, perhaps just give us an insight and just paint a picture for us. Tell us about the extent of illegal mining in this area.
Good evening, Bali, and good evening to our viewers. So, it's quite extensive. As you drive around various villages in Sekhukhune, you find illegal mining happening, some at the doorstep of people's houses. There are houses that have caved in, some that are on the verge of caving in just because people are digging around that yard to get to access chrome in order to sell it. But Mbali, over the years, as police were trying to fight this scourge, you would see pockets of people who are said to be the miners getting arrested. Some would come out, they would go to bail. But for the first time, we saw people who seem to be the biggest beneficiaries in this illegal mining being arrested. But just to take you back to give a bit of background of just how this arrest of the two Michelle suspects happened is that police say, the Hawks say on the 7th of December last year, they went into a facility where they found a geologist with chrome ore worth 20 million rand. And this geologist, Mr. Okamp, was arrested at the time, but he informed them that that was not his property. They are directors to this facility, and the police have been looking for them all along. Last week, these two Michelle suspects handed themselves over, and they went to court. And upon that first appearance, because you can imagine, like the charge that they are facing is a Schedule 1 offense, they applied for bail, they were granted. So these three people are expected back in court next year, in January next year, to face this illegal mining charge. But this is something that's quite common in Sekhukhune. But I must add that since the president deployed soldiers to all areas across the country that are rife with illegal mining, we've seen a slowing down. You can even say a dying down of illegal mining activities. We were in the area for most of this week. From Monday, we've been to different villages that we knew normally you would find people in broad daylight, Mbali. They would be mining. Like I said, some close to households, others on top of mountains and other areas. But a drive through Sekhukhune this week showed us that there is none of that happening. We were able to see soldiers driving around, patrolling the area. Police were also at hand. So it looks like there is currently a hold on this illegal mining situation in the Sekhukhune area.
And what are the community members in the Sekhukhune villages saying about this? Especially, are they welcoming the arrests of these two directors?
Mbali, it's quite interesting because even over the years, as we did these illegal mining stories, people always say, at my doorstep, just at my doorstep, there's this ore, and I am poverty-stricken, I don't have any other way to feed my family. So whenever you speak about illegal mining, community members will talk about give us licenses. And they always say there's always this red tape with the Department of Mineral Resources in terms of, issuing them. Some even say, even if it's just a permit, even if I don't have a license to mine, but a permit to mine, and they're saying they are willing to have it regulated to ensure, number one, their safety, but also the safety of the environment in which they live, and to ensure that. So when you ask residents about how do they feel about arrest, they will say, we welcome it, but would like to have the right to mine because these minerals are at their doorsteps. So that's exactly what we found this time around. We actually spoke to a local business forum that has been for years, according to them, they say for years, they've been applying for small-scale mining licenses, both individually but also as a business forum. And they say every time you never get any feedback from government authorities. There's just a lot of red tape and no one ever comes back to them, stating that right now, because of the presence of the soldiers, local businesses have died down because no one has money to buy bread. Even if you have a small spaza shop, your business has died down because there are no customers. People who own taverns do not have customers. So generally, it looks like the entire community's economic activities are negatively affected by this halting of illegal mining activities in the area.
And of course, I mean, as the community members call on for, the licenses of small-scale mining, one would say that it does really have the potential to also try and address the issues around a high unemployment rate in the country.
Yes, that's what they're saying, that, this is all they have. And they say this could also lead to, educational opportunities in the area. But they also calls that, with these syndicates that are behind this, they exploit some of their community members. So also calling for police to dig deeper, also find if there are other syndicates that have been operating, exploiting them, which the Hawks have told us their investigations are ongoing. It will also look into this chrome that was found that is worth 20 million rand. Does it come from residents? Where does it come from? Like trying to find out the chain of command. How did it get there? Where was it going to go to? Saying with this arrest, they are hopeful that many other people that are involved might also be uncovered.
And of course, I mean, if you speak about the exploiting of, those who actually mine this illegally, it also talks to the clientele here. If, these directors of this company are found in the possession of 20 million rand worth of chrome, it clearly does really talk to the large clientele that it seems as if many illegal miners are also reaching out to.
Yes, Mbali, it talks to the clientele because it seems there's a huge demand of this. And Mbali, we've also spoken to economists and other experts. The biggest problem with this illegal mining is that there is no way to trace just how much is lost to it. We know the chrome mining sector contributes extensively to job creation, but also to the GDP. But in terms of how much is lost, in terms of taxes that would have been paid if it was mined legally, as it's exported out of the country, how big is this clientele? How does it move around? Which brings us to an element in the story that we did in Bali. We had to find out how is it able to work? How is this chrome moved around? And fortunately, we were lucky enough to speak to some police officials, which we, on the basis that would guarantee their anonymity. And Bali, they told us that most officers around that area, you can imagine there's many police officers, most officers in that area have been aiding these syndicates. Some of them escort these trucks that move around with a chrome that was illegally mined. Some of them even just take bribes along the way, knowing that this vehicle should not be passing this area, but they take a bribe to ensure that they move around. But these are allegations that also Mbali must also state. We spoke to the police about them, and they said that they would be investigating to see if indeed there are rotten apples within their ranks, to see who is helping facilitate this process.
Pimani, thank you so much for that update. That's SABC News reporter there, Pimani Baloyi, based in Limpopo, just giving us an update when it comes to those arrests which have been conducted and those directors found in the possession of 20 million rand worth of chrome.